Chat, here we go. It's Nugget versus Abdullah and a nice 1v1 matchup between players who have gotten some wins recently. Nugget has been on a bit of a run. Abdullah is technically as well. I think Abdullah's only played his one debut match. It was an exciting one, and it was against Evo, and I believe it might have been a sweep. If it wasn't, it was a very dominant performance for Abdullah, but he is back and ready to play again. He is a player for R8 in the MENA RLCS, one of the higher level teams, I think at least a top 4 team. And he's been on the rise, and I think we're going to see him a bit more, not only in RLCS, but maybe in some ones matches as well. Now, Nugget is not only on a series winning streak, he is on a game winning streak. He has swept just about everybody he has played, and he has played 4 or 5 matches, I think, including a couple against, Diaz and Nas, who are top 5 players in the world. We joked around a bit because we had him in a 2v1 against his teammates, and he did lose his college teammates in a 2v1. So his streak is technically over, both games and series, but I mean, let's be honest, it's not actually. In 1v1s, he is still something like, I think at least 12-0 in games and 4-0 in series. We'll see if he can continue that today against Abdullah. Abdullah, on paper, is certainly not the most or the toughest challenge of his recent matches. So by all means, it maybe should continue. But it's been a couple weeks, or at least a few days, since those games, and you never know if Nugget's still going to be playing at that top level. One thing that Nugget always does use is that rainbow boost, which I am totally used to by this point, watching Nugget. But it certainly stands out as an item you don't often hear when playing the game or watching high-level show matches, as Abdullah is going to get a demo and a reset shot for a second. A fairly low-scoring game. Now, one thing about Nugget's game is that the more goals, the better, it would seem, for him. Every time games are getting up into the double digits for both players, Nugget always seems to be able to pull away. It's the more defensive and grindy games that Nugget seems to struggle with, as he's going to pre-flip out to this ball. Nugget loves to play quickly and tries to surprise opponents with his speed and with his chasing, as some people would call it. But it's really hard. I mean, I feel like chasing comes with a negative connotation. Nugget gets wins, and that's all that really matters. So you could chase all you want. You could call it chasing all you want. But if he's breaking down top-level players and beating them in games, I guess chasing is just the right way to play. Yo, Hannah Banana, thank you for the raid. W raids in the chat as 52 million people join us here. Nuggets on the counterattack with an easy goal. I was looking out at the raid. Not sure what happened here on Abdullah's shot. I think he took a long shot from midfield. Maybe went a bit too all in. Nuggets chasing down Abdullah. Doesn't connect for a demo, but can you guess what? Nugget did not leave. He is not about to give space or relinquish control for a second if he can get away with it. And he's earned himself another wall to air dribble. Late use of the flip. He wanted to get Abdullah transitioning from the back wall to the ground and then use the flip. But Abdullah still able to make that save. Non-committal attempt here from Abdullah. Knows that Nugget is going to retreat and probably make it back to stop it. So instead, he wants to prepare for the follow-up. That's exactly what he does on the single jump and then quick wave dash to get behind the ball. Nugget was chicken once? No, somebody said that, but Nugget has never been chicken. I think people were just wanted that to be the case. They wanted chicken nuggets to be some sort of correlation, but no. The player that was once named Chicken and then named J... Someone in chat will remember. J-Pow? He's a North American. He is not a... J. Russ. That's right. J. Russ. He's a North American player, not an English player. Abdullah saves the backboard. Nuggets trying not to allow him to get down to the ground, and now getting the demo. Should be able to convert. Abdullah, I'm not sure why he's even driving for Bruce. I guess he just knows he's already been scored on. Doesn't really care off the respawn. But there is a world, I guess if he respawned left side, and he wants to be turning right away, and that's probably his world in which he gets the save. So you could argue he was just pulling right, because that was the only way he had a chance. And if he spawns on the right side, then whatever. He was never going to make the save anyways. 5-3. Bit of separation for the first time here, as Nuggets gonna undercut Abdullah and try and bait him into a bad 50, but I would say Abdullah got a fairly decent one. The problem is no boost to show for it, so he does have to back off the play. Nugget to the skies. Abdullah swinging wide through his back corner, and he's nowhere near to making this stop. Credit to Nugget for recognizing the approach of Abdullah and getting that reset shot to accelerate as quick as possible. I mean, Abdullah looked like he was nowhere near the play because of how well Nugget hit that. Abdullah, a kickoff win, you could argue, as he gets possession and is even able to steal the back corner boost, but Nugget handles that well, resets possession. Now space for Abdullah, 50 seconds left to go. It has to be a goal for him. He's going to go to the backboard for a double, and Nugget will deny it and counter. So it will be a Nugget game 1 win, most likely, assuming he does not throw away 4 straight kickoffs in 40 seconds. Maybe a time here for Abdullah still to lab, though, because after the hot start, he has not been able to find much offense against Nugget. And Nugget feels like the kind of player who quickly makes you change your game. You know, you get used to certain opponents who play, you know, a different level of pressure on the ball, and you recognize that Nugget's just going to turn on everything and forces you to play quickly. I mean, there's a reason why, you know, players aren't expecting it. They feel like they can punish it, but they're not used to dealing with it as much as Nugget likes to dish it out. So 8-3, a clean win here for Nuggets towards the latter half of this game, as he will continue his game win streak up 1-0 against Abdullah. Nuggets game win streak is at least 13 now. I'd have to go back and see. I can think of at least 4 matches he's played recently. Game 2, shout out Duck Deducted for the tier 1 for 4 months. Can you get a quack? No, I can't do it. I don't have the strength. Abdullah is going to score first. Kickoff win, lobbing this one to the top shelf. What is Atto's streak on stream? I think Atto does not have a streak right now. Who did he play against most recently? I think he played against Toxic when he made it his way back to his home where he doesn't have the best internet. His streak was all while he was on, not LAN, but in boot camp. Then he had a close match with Toxic. Abdullah gonna get 3. He needs to get a little bit more, though, because apparently last time around, even though he got himself 3 goals, it wasn't enough. Nugget ended up getting 8. A lot of that has to do with these kickoffs. It's converting off kickoff basically every time, taking him less than 10 seconds for each goal. Pep Siegel, thank you for the 2 months. We demand a quack. You don't always get what you demand. Abdullah trying to challenge the midfield. Nuggets on 12 boost just puts some power behind the ball and gets it out past Abdullah's challenge, forcing him to hit it side on and not stopping the possession. Nugget switching the field, deciding not to go up the side wall. So he felt like Abdullah probably be able to intercept that and stop that. A little bit too slow of a setup. So he cuts in field. First touch reset is not going to be enough to do anything with, and it's not even going to be enough to get a wave dash back out of the play. Nugget's game streak gone. That is a good point. Lots of time left to go, considering how Nugget probably averages something like 7 or 8 goals a game. I would not be calling it too early. He has scored a ton. Oh, wow. Fortunate that bounced too high. I thought he was backflipping to his demise. But ultimately does make the save, courtesy of the crossbar. That was a great setup by Abdullah. Dashing back to this demo. I thought he was maybe going to get to the ball clean, but off the wall, such quick movements. Even though he doesn't get the ball, he gets nuggets. Makes his life easy on the follow-up. Nuggets, 65 boost. Not able to collect the ball off the back wall without getting bumped, but did a decent job to get it all the way to the orange half without getting demoed. Now Abdullah on a pad, uses that pad to combine with a wave dash in order to challenge. Bit of an all-in type play, but one that he felt was worth it, breaking up the possession early instead of trying to defend from behind, but the pre-jump is going to get beat here. Abdullah jumping and floating in air before trying to get back down. Too late to make it back. Abdullah straight kickoff win. Oh no, Nuggets gets back for the bump to not allow the free goal. Nugget has gotten so many wins based off of his kickoff. I mean, he's had first possessions. I mean, whenever there's been the maximum amount of kickoffs, like we talked about, as much scoring as possible, it has favored Nugget. But Abdullah had earned this early lead off of many consecutive first possessions in his favor off kickoff. Abdullah gonna reset on 100 and beats Nugget to the ball. That is a rarity. He should be able to double this in. No, not quite. It fell just for a moment to a position where it could be placed top right, but it needed the perfect touch and Abdullah did not get it. And this is what we were talking about earlier. You need to get a big lead because Nugget always seems to find his way back, although this time he essentially owned goals here as he cuts off Nugget's touch and puts it on target himself. What was this dash on the side wall? Abdullah, a free bucket. Courtesy of a mechanical mistake from Nugget. 4 goals in a minute 16. Kickoff win goes to Nuggets as he puts the ball in the orange half. He didn't have boost. It seemed like it was going to be a boost for ball trade, but Nugget with a demo will be able to score. So ultimately does convert on the possession in similar fashion to how he's known for, staying aggressive despite being low. Most opponents expecting somebody to back off in that case. Nugget just gets speed at 0 and goes for the demo. Little wave dash bump. The ball's not on target though. And I don't think he's going to have time to get back out around and score it. He uses a zap dash to get to the ball, and wait a second, Nugget got a great shot here. One of the many great uses of a zap dash as he lands on that pad. Dashes quickly out and uses the little bit of boost he was able to pick up to create that shot. Nuggets quickly to the midfield boost and a 50 win, and now he's within one. 35 seconds left to go. People who were thinking that his game win streak was over were definitely counting it too soon. I said it before, Nugget always ends up with about 7 or 8 goals. Oh, this time he misses high. Crossbar and out. He definitely could have scored. Abdullah on 0. Chasing down the ball. Now into the attacking corner. Wants to dodge the demo. Managed to get a little wave dash touch on the side wall to play keep away. Nugget on ball with very little boost to work with. Has the carry, though. Abdullah's going to flip away in the final moments. It's going to be a low 50 and a goal. Nuggets ties it up with 4 seconds left to go. And even though he didn't have a ton of boost, he keeps the ball on his car where there's tons of things to threaten, and then finally drops it down for one of the easiest shots to hit when you have no boost, which is that low 50. Nuggets, another kickoff win. Is he not even going to need overtime? Abdullah does break it up, but Nugget gets underneath it. Abdullah definitely would have preferred for that to hit ground as Nugget pops it up. Abdullah playing on 0. 50 boost for Nuggets. A flick, it's on target, sent away. Nuggets just barely is able to chip it into the side wall, so it will stay in the air. Abdullah going to chase this one down. Nugget pops the ball immediately because he's worried about that initial challenge, but that challenge never comes. Nugget puts one on target. Abdullah forced to make the save high up in the air, and finally will slam it down to the ground. So now we have overtime in game number 2. Kickoff goes to Abdullah. Strong first touch off the side wall. Uses the flip to get back to the ball. Has the reset. What a shot from Abdullah to end the game win streak for Nuggets. Nugget maybe brought it back for OT, but this is quite the clutch moment here from Abdullah. 9 seconds into overtime. He has tied the series 1-1. Game number 3. Nugget has now officially broken his game win streak, but his series win streak is still alive in 1v1s, and I'm sure he'd be interested in keeping it going. Nugget flick to the top shelf. Abdullah has a ton of boost to work with. Nugget did his best to put the ball away from him, but it doesn't matter. Abdullah uses the boost to make the save and has a lot left over for the counterattack as well. Nuggets, I mean, on my screen, he touches the ball. My connection to the EU servers isn't great, but you definitely see the trail of the ball warp around his car. So I'm sure it felt like a scam. But maybe on Nuggets' much better ping, it looked like he missed. He's got 8 ping. I mean, he's got the best possible ping. So from his POV, he probably knew he missed. Abdullah playing on 88 ping. I'd probably have something like 180 if my ping was showing. Maybe even a bit more. Abdullah round pinching this one away, but recognizes Nugget's going to take a while to corral the ball and get it back moving offensively, so decides to close that distance and challenge. He has met Nugget's speed. This has been a breakneck pace 1v1. Air dribble from Nugget, keeping ball cam on. It's demoed on the recovery, and Abdullah has the ball to control and puts it on target. At Feer 160, final answer. Oh, my ping? I think 160 is a bit low for a Arizona connection to EU servers. Nuggets. Flick top right, given a bunch of space. He converts. A rare moment where there's space on the field for either one of these guys. Abdullah, a reset shots, trying to beat Nugget on that near post where he can defend from the back wall. Is going to be one of the toughest places to do it. It's much easier to do it when attacking the center of the nets. In this case, Nugget wasn't defending from the back wall, but he does get faked out by the reset as he tries to turn back around into the play. And Abdullah makes it 3-2. Nugget, what a quick little chain dash. We're going to watch it from his perspective. Dashing up the curve of this wall to make the quick shot. Oh my goodness. Able to keep so much speed on a curve that normally absolutely eats your speed alive. Instead, he almost seems to accelerate. Nugget, great flick. First touch setup into that diagonal flick. Great pop. Has himself a 4-3 lead. These have been going back and forth. Nuggets setting up a reverse setup on the ceiling. Drops it calculated as he falls from the air. Doesn't find much of anything. And now Abdullah is going to try and flick. Oh, to punish Nuggets. But Nugget just barely able to make that save. Abdullah should be able to reset on 100 in the back corner. As Nugget turns passively. Allows Abdullah to start this dribble. Looks like he had lost it, and these two are not going to hold. Nugget's going to drop the no ways. Obviously, Abdullah can't hold the rule one until the game ends and then gets a loss. But he is, of course, going to get scored on. Because that are the rules of the universe. Abdullah has recognized now how much Nugget likes to get those demos off the kickoff possessions. He's got his camera pulled down, checking where Nugget's at. To dive and steal his corner boost, and he knows Nugget is on ball at all times. And this is one of those things that you don't really expect from some top players. You know, that they won't want to make that dive because in theory every time when you have the race to the ball won, like Abdullah did, you just turn in, pop it over the top of them, and that almost gets learned out of your defenders. But Nuggets, he tries to push the envelope when it comes to greedy challenges like that and often succeeds and takes you completely out of your game because of it. But Abdullah had the read this time. Still behind one, though, with 1:30 left to go. Nuggets gonna lob one on target. Abdullah with the easy save. And an air dribble bump. Nuggets almost able to sneak underneath it and send it into the crossbar, but it does bounce its way in. And Abdullah is able to tie the game. Nuggets going top left. Great control of this kickoff possession. Forcing Abdullah into net. You see him prepping on the side wall to eventually make a save high. Ultimately transitioned out in an attempt to pick up some boost, but Nugget is able to capitalize. Another big kickoff win for Nuggets as he tries to force Abdullah to jump high. Single touch reset. Nugget was trying to make it seem like he was going to the corner and then fly back on target. Abdullah's done a good job of sticking around and actually earned himself a possession now. Hunter boost, attacking the other way. Went for the strong touch to try and beat out Nugget, who was maybe expecting a reset, but Nugget still made the save. And is able to get it off the backboard for the counterattack. Definitely a risk that you take with going for that straight touch. If it does get saved, it likely gets saved with speed. Abdullah, big kickoff win and an instant goal. He needed that bad. A game that was basically over is now all of a sudden much more attainable. He doesn't have to get a direct kickoff win anymore. He got that one first. Now, he can take a bit more time. He is going to back off the ball. Nugget will bring it to him. Chaining some dashes together. Popping the ball to the back wall. Gets himself demoed. Abdullah has a great possession here. He's going to cut it back across the net. No, he tried to fake Nugget out, or at least cut it around him. And Nuggets got the angle on the ball, and you can't blame Abdullah for just turning and diving. He needed to get something, and ultimately it was that power slide cut. Needed to be a bit better. Didn't convert off his demo. 8-3. Nuggets very likely to take a 2-1 lead in the series. But Abdullah is certainly fighting to the bitter end as we head to game number 4. How is this showmanship? Oh, viewer 1690. Never change. Game number 4. Nuggets and Abdullah. Nuggets able to bounce back after his first game loss in 12 or so games, 13 or so games. Abdullah's going to help him 50 this in. Nugget got so far out past the ball. That's something that Abdullah, I think, may be expecting. Would not be the right play from Nugget if he were attacking that ball alone. But he knew Abdullah was going to help guide it to the target. Just barely able to make the save. And actually, because he had such nerves of steel and didn't jump, it enables a counterattack as well immediately. And he took his time, so I'm not sure if it's going to go back and show this shot attempt. But an impressive read of the play that he could get away with staying grounded. Now gets himself a 2-0 lead. Nugget, little camera check, wants the low 50 and is able to muscle it through. Abdullah on the shadow directly behind the ball. Yo, Feer, will you stream the major? Yes, the game plan is to watch party the major. That is the first day because I have a friend's wedding for the weekend. So I will not be able to watch party the rest of it, but I'll be able to watch party tomorrow, which is the best day to watch party if you ask me. Maybe Championship Sunday, but there's going to be a lot going down, a lot of early reads. I did my predictions earlier, and we'll show them on stream today. But man, I feel like there's going to be a lot of close matches. It's not as clear. Oh my goodness, Abdullah ended up saving it himself. He did all that setup just to help pinch it out. Nugget really loves those diagonal flicks. He air rolls back to set up. Abdullah able to make the save to stop the 5-0, but needs to find a bit of offense. Which players are you the most excited to see play in London? I mean, I think the obvious answer is all the top players, from the teams that were also at Copenhagen. But for the sake of the question, seemingly maybe, asking like who we haven't seen before, maybe Twisted Minds. I'm interested to see how Mina 2 can do, because I don't think Rule 1 initially lived up to what Mina 2 can do. Maybe Twisted Minds will. But right now, it's a 5-0 run for Nuggets. First 2 minutes into this game. A demo that is not going to be easy to convert on. as Abdullah tries to fake across the net, and it works out. Got Nugget to back off and allows him to roll this ball up to the near post. You see that turnout midfield. He is prepping for the Abdullah cut. And when it doesn't come, he's just been slightly moved off his position, and that's enough for Abdullah to sneak in. Nuggets. An interesting setup that he seems to lose control of. Abdullah, quick dash onto the side wall. But playing Nuggets game and not doing it as well as the master of speed as he dives in for a very poor challenge. Abdullah had a string of goals earlier in this series off of a few consecutive kickoffs. No reason why he can't find that again this time. Going for the ground double. Nugget went way too far off the ball. I don't think he had to give up possession, but he did. And how wide he swung. Well, Abdullah ends up giving it right back. Nugget trying to switch the field off the back wall. Playing a bit of keep away right now as the game is winding down. Wants to bait Abdullah into playing his scrappy, chase the ball type game. And Nugget feels really good, I imagine, about being able to win that game. But ultimately does lose possession. Able to deny Abdullah's first chance on the 50. He's going to reset to his back wall. Does he have the full field dribble? He's going to try and make it happen. A touch high, gets the reset, and places it perfectly bottom right. Nugget has to drop him the nice one. How could you not? Abdullah does indeed have the back wall dribble, and a great flip for the finish here. Far off the ball, able to flip underneath it and touch it with the right side of his car. And tap it bottom right, perfect placement, but a bit slow of an offensive take, which I only mentioned because he's got 4 goals to make up in a minute 10. The next few might have to be a bit quicker. He's got himself a great possession now. Air dribble bump. Interesting. Tried to slow it down maybe while still trying to get the bump, but ultimately he did just save it himself and put it on the backboard. It seemed like he wanted both to stay on the bump but also to slightly adjust the ball a bit higher, and you can't do both. Nuggets now just constantly feathering that rainbow boost and chasing the ball down and letting everything else figure itself out afterwards. Another nice 50 win, boost steal. Thought about maybe some tight angle shot. Gets the demo, 25 seconds left to go. And I think Nugget has done it again. Should be keeping the win streak going. Not the game win streak, as Abdullah is able to get a game off of him, but the series win streak remains alive, and that's the one that really matters. As Nuggets continuing to get win after win after win, we're going to have to see who is going to be able to stop him, if anybody, as Nuggets does not tap this to the ground, but it should hit the ground here. Game 4 goes to Nugget, 3-1. GG's for both these guys for playing. Jeez. Abdullah, I'm proud of you, though. You played better than my last opponents. That's just some trash talk for all his other opponents casually. Another best of 5? Wait, you just want to rip it right now? I don't know if it makes sense to just rip another one right now. No, just for fun? Oh, so he wants to just do it off stream, maybe? If Feer wants. No, he wants to do it on stream. He wants to just rip another best of 5. He says, let me try again. Chat, what do you guys want? We have top 25, to do. We have predictions to do. Run it, please. Yes, yes, we want it. Chat, here we go again. It's a Nugget versus Abdullah rematch. Nugget is still on his win streak, and Abdullah said one more after getting his first ever loss. He did not like that. He said, run it back. I want to end your streak right here and now, and we'll see if he's able to do it after only being able to take one game from Nuggets. But it's tough to win over an extended period of time against anybody. But Nugget doesn't plan on slipping now. He's got himself a 1-0 lead in our new game number 1. Nugget getting a little bit fancy on his wave dash setups. Did I say I am Barman? Thank you for the 22 months. If not, I want to make sure I get that now. Nuggets gonna pop the ball to get the second goal. What did the prediction in chat end up being? 69% have now gone in favor of Nugget after watching him win the first matchup between these two. Abdullah, he has gotten some great fakes, though. He's gotten Nugget on that many times. And a lot of that comes because he's been a very, proven aerial player. His attacks through the air have had a ton of success, and they often result in Nugget dropping a nice one. So that's not going to change here, but this time it's going to be because of a fake. He really brought the YouTube presence here. As I was just saying, the previous match, we had the platform indicators, but now I've been able to find a chat that combined... Nice power shot. Great air roll power shot out of the corner from Abdullah. But I've been able to find a way to combine the chats together for peace and harmony, and now with no indicators, so you'll never know. Although, just to give you guys a little bit of a hint, you cannot have a space in your name on Twitch. So there's lots of space in their name chatters on YouTube. Why I let you know that, I don't know. But I'm sure you guys can just tell by looking at your Twitch chat and noticing some of the chats are missing that are showing up on the overlay. Nuggets trying to get back out around this ball. Should be able to get the boost steal. Abdullah just going to clear. That was so courteous of you, Nugget. Nugget driving over the midfield boost obviously should take it and prevent Abdullah from getting 100. But he double jumps over the top of it, allows Abdullah to get the 100, and it was all part of his mind games. He knew that Abdullah would leave the play. If he stole the 100 from him, he would have backed off. That's not what Nugget wanted. Nugget wanted him to try and stay in the play so that he could be his expert keep away self and eventually get his goal. Now, I don't think that's actually what happened. Surely Nugget was maybe trying to dodge a demo or something and meant to still grab the boost, but it worked out for him either way. This flick from Nuggets is filthy. And of course, it's going to garner comparisons to Moxie's flick. He doesn't really set it up the same way. There's much more of an air roll and lean to go 90 degrees before flicking it, but man, does it come flying out with power. Nugget can't force this kickoff though on 0 boost, and then feels backflip, allows Abdullah the long shot. When do we get another Zen matchup? It'll just depend when Zen is interested in ones again. I have a feeling that after this major, I believe that Esports World Cup is in between it, which will include 1v1 games. I have a feeling that we'll see some people rejoin the one scene that maybe have been gone for a while. It's usually how it goes. Maybe they'll just say screw it and wait around and just try and win their ones games with very little prep. Because to be fair, there have been players who have had decent success with that as well. We'll have to see. This matchup is pretty good. It's a fairly even matchup, and it's a very fast-paced matchup. That's why I didn't really have any issues with running it again. I feel like it's a pretty entertaining matchup between these two. As Abdullah and Nugget hug at the midfield after Nugget takes the lead. Abdullah baiting him into giving the ball away, and now take it to the air where he seems to have the edge over Nugget. Nugget grabbing all the boosts on the map. He stars Abdullah out, but didn't get enough power on that flick. Too soft. Abdullah handles it. Nugget got to the corner too quickly, but is able to rotate back down and get a boost steal, but still it doesn't work out. Would have been much better to arrive there right as it respawned. Instead, he played too fast for his own good and allowed Abdullah a challenge and then a midfield demo because of it. Nugget was turning in field. He was trying to catch a demo as well. It'll be Abdullah who wins. See, the thing is, you don't ever know which chatter is which. Like the guy who spammed 30 YouTube logos, that could have been anybody. Abdullah, what a shot off the ceiling. Although it ultimately gets read and saved, and the problem with a shot that separates you from the ball as heavily as that one does, it needs to be quality. Otherwise, you're getting yourself counterattacked. Uh-oh, the Twitch chatters have found their clapback Twitch logo. Abdullah taking to the ground. Even though he's not able to win it out for the shots, he allows himself the quick recovery to disallow any follow-up from Nugget. I can't find anyone with spaces in their names. Well, then it must just be a harmonious chat in which everybody loves one another. Don't look too into very much of that guy who just typed with a space in his name and put 2 YouTube logos in. Trust me, we're all one and the same. Abdullah, a great chance here. Actually has Nugget on low boost. Touch to the back wall. He needs this goal. Gets the reset. Nugget forces him in at the pool shot save. And you can see the camera reverse cam spam from Abdullah, who thought he had a chance to tie it up. He asked for the rematch, but the rematch starts in favor of Nuggets. Hey, Feer, if you had to pick one, who do you think is the #1 1v1 player in the world? As Nugget's going to take this to the back corner off the hat flip kickoff from Abdullah. Can he match him in aerial prowess? This is not the full field setup that's going to work. Abdullah showed him how to do it earlier. And now we'll show him how to counterattack when the full field attack isn't good enough. I think a lot of people have Rawas probably. Nupo, I think, is up there. Daniel kind of expired from being one. He was one back, over 6 months ago, but hasn't played in 6 months. I think for a long time, the trio of best players had been, or the not even a trio, it was more of a quad. It was Rawas, Daniel, Moxie, and Zen. Still represent probably some of the top players. You could maybe trade Zen out for Nupo, because Zen hasn't really had, I think, that same success. But it might be better to just add Nupo in instead of taking Zen out. Reset shot from Nuggets. Make it 2-1. I think that, most of chat is saying Rawas. I think if you were to predict a tournament right now, Rawas is probably your safest bet. He probably gets the, worst odds, or I guess best odds to win. Nugget double resets. Abdullah actually has the save. Positioned himself perfectly. But I think there's going to be very similarly solid odds for Daniel, Moxie, Zen, Nupo to win as well. Great flick from Nugget. Backing us. He knows his 1v1. He's saying he'd back Nupo. Love these air roll lean back flicks. Rawast even over Moxie. You know, it's tough. The Moxie that won Salt Mine 1, or sorry, Salt Mine 3, Chapter 1, what was it called? Split 1, Event 1, Salt Mine 3-1, Point 1. Stage. Thank you. Stage 1. Salt Mine 3, Stage 1. That one was dominated by Moxie and First Killer, as I remember it. But Moxie specifically looked insane. I mean, that was one of the best wins, you know, with a long time coming too. There hadn't been a tournament like that in a long time. Of course, he wasn't able to follow it up in stage 2 and 3, so you got to give Nas his credit. But yeah, that stage 1 win, when I think Moxie was most locked in. Maybe we would see that again if another tournament were to be held. But I don't know if Moxie is on the grind right now. I think he might even have some school stuff going on, because I've been asking him about potential matches here and there. So we have to wait till he's fully prepped and ready to go. Hey Feer, my parents have not been born yet, but I'm pretty mechy and would like to extend an invitation to participate in a show match. You would definitely be the youngest person we've ever had in a show match. That would beat out 13, or it would beat out 12, I think. Fast might maybe played when he was 12. Negative 30 or so would definitely be the youngest. Abdullah, what a close save. My goodness, Abdullah. Puts the ball perfectly onto the crossbar as it bounces up, back up high, so his in and out save can get powerfully cleared despite not having much boost. I mean, that was an expert defensive sequence from Abdullah, and now he's forcing Nugget to make a save off the backboard, but he does. Nuggets, he wants you to try and take the ball away from him. He wants you to believe that he's not all over the play. He is just too good at staying on the ball and will surprise you. Has himself a 2-goal lead now. Do you like pineapple? I feel like this is a bait because it's such a random question. But since I know my chat is always nice to me and never trying to trick me, yeah, pineapple's good. Delayed kickoff from Abdullah. While to air dribble, he's had a decent amount of success here in the past, and a late flip will get him a goal. Nuggets just has not been able to figure it out. I mean, Abdullah has such good fakes as well, which is why you see Nuggets not really committing on this take, because past couple times he gets faked, Abdullah goes low, so Nugget decides to adjust, and Abdullah is just perfect at reading him as well. This time, the setup not nearly as solid. It's too near post, so it doesn't threaten as much as it could. Nugget just diving to stay on the ball. Shouldn't be too surprising here. Looking like he's trying to make something out of truly nothing, but he always ends up just keeping the possession going and eventually finding his goal. And this is a nice flip to kind of roll the ball into the top right. Not often do you see finishes like this where you don't really shoot the ball. You just kind of become a platform almost to keep it up as he carries it in to the top right through the roll. Seven 4. Abdullah. He's the one who wanted the rematch, wanted his second chance. Second chance maybe isn't going to plan, as Nugget just keeps running it up. He's going to make it 8-4. Wow, what a flick from Nuggets. It is really hard to collect the ball and launch it with that kind of power. But Nugget is almost losing the ball at the top of his car. But rolls through the flip. and gets all the power to make it 5-goal lead. A minute 20. Nugget, another kickoff win. He just seems to be dominating the matchup now. Nugget able to undercut Abdullah there to prevent the counterattack goal. Nugget just wasting time. Right now he doesn't even need to fully stop Abdullah, just needs to make him take 20 or so seconds to eventually get his goal, and that's good enough. Abdullah set up in field and has his 6th. We haven't really seen a huge blow in any game just yet. Abdullah was threatening one. Nugget found his way back. We're looking at the same thing again here with 40 seconds left to go. Abdullah a little fake infield like he's going to go on the ball. Nugget actually leaves the play, a rarity. Now Abdullah, if he didn't like his setup, he might have gone up over the top of it because he heard Nugget coming to challenge. But Nugget was faking that challenge. Abdullah had just taken his wall to air dribble that he's normally used to. He got undercut on the ball. Tried his best to use his flip to keep himself from flying way out of the play, but doesn't matter. Still out of it. 9-6. Maybe a goal here or there, but it's going to be a Nuggets game. I guess what would this be? Game 6? A game 6 win. He has only dropped 1 game so far to Abdullah in their 2 series so far, and seems like he's wanting to get back on track with the sweeps. A lot of people have been talking about Nuggets, and some people will say he's lucky, as one chatter just said. Might be top 5 luckiest players he's seen in this game. A lot of people have been saying that his opponents specifically seem to choke in their matches when they play against him, or, you know, they play not to their best ability. That's the only reason why Nugget was able to get the win. Just know that all the people who are putting their channel points on Nuggets and not playing into that copium are coming away much, much richer. It's very clear that Nugget is playing a solid ones game right now. And he's especially good at taking the opponent out of their game and forcing him to play a scrappy game that Nugget comes out on top of. And this time he reads the challenge from Abdullah. Abdullah even drops him the nice one and taps it up over the top of him. And soft touch for the double to make it 2-0. Actually, the luckiest players are the viewers who are fortunate to spectate such a marvelous match. Chat, why not, Twitch chat specifically, how come you guys never say that? That was an obvious YouTube chatter because he was so nice to me. Why don't you guys take a few lessons from the YouTube chat? Abdullah with another fake. Because YouTube chat doesn't know old Feer. I guess the YouTube streams haven't been around that long. Yo, Vex7. Thank you for the raid. Huge raid, W raid in the chat. As Nugget makes it 3-1. Abdullah gonna make it a 3-2 game as he manages to keep himself in this one when it seems like Nugget is once again gonna pull away. It's a late kickoff for Abdullah. He's gonna have to back off. Nuggets high setup, resets, soft flick. Abdullah though didn't get the kind of momentum save he would have wanted. He had to get pinned in place, so no follow-up afterwards. Nugget missed that midfield. He's gonna have to continue to chase this ball down to not have it be essentially an own goal. When it comes to Nugget and chasing, he always seems to come out better because of it. Right now he has been all over the ball all the way down to the last bit of boost. Forcing Abdullah onto the post with this save, and Abdullah fortunate to grab the demo, and the bounce is not on target, so a bit of space. Nugget wants to cut that space off right away, but you know, Nugget's doing a great job of throwing in fake challenges as well. Like here, he fake dives into the corner. Abdullah, who's now been trained to try and beat someone who relentlessly attacks the ball, chips it off the side wall with pace, hoping to punish a diving Nugget, but Nugget is throwing in the occasional fake to make sure Abdullah has to keep guessing. And it was an interesting ground pinch shot there, but it did get stopped. So Nugget only with a 1-goal lead. Abdullah from the ceiling. Ground pinch? No. Ball floats on target and gets handled by Nugget. Nugget watching Abdullah, knows he's playing on low boost. Saw that spawn. Bottom right corner of his screen. Right as he started this setup. Knows again that Abdullah is playing on very little and just waits to bait him out for the challenge. And follows up off the backboard. A masterful play from Nuggets to feel confident with that control. Abdullah has to just drop him the nice one. How many wins is Nugget on? I think this will be his 6th series win. Although it would be 2 in a row against Abdullah, which is not very common. Ooh, nice flick. Nugget seeing Abdullah back off. Brings us down for a carry. Is trying to pin it top shelf to force Abdullah in the air, but went too high. Nugget missed the corner of his steal. Might not matter though, as he's able to keep Abdullah pinned back. And it is a reset 50 going low after Abdullah react to the play. Went high. 1:11 left to go. Nugget has controlled this entire second series. And despite the fact Abdullah was able to take a game, it's looking like it might be 6-1 when it's all said and done in favor of Nugget. A demo off the kickoff is going to give Nugget first possession. And his setup was not on target, and he's still able to make something out of it. This really cannot be going Nugget's way if Abdullah wants to be getting a win. He set up this ball, and it fell off of his card to the point where any flick would have just gone to the corner anyways. Very non-threatening position. One that should not result in a follow-up goal. While Abdullah missed his backboard touch. Allowed Nugget to score anyways. Nugget bringing the ball to a complete stop. But Abdullah able to dodge the bump. So gets a possession, but nothing really comes of it. And now Nuggets is trying his best to go insane on the ball, booming it away, wave dashing on the ceiling to get extra pace. And it seems like Abdullah's going to fall victim to playing Nuggets game again. Nugget full field pinch. It's just a pass. What will Abdullah give us for the road? He has been pretty impressive in the air, but he has not found any offense as of late. What a flick. Nugget can do that anywhere. He got Abdullah to own goal it. But I love this setup. And because it's kind of like a single jump into flick, there's no position he can't do it from. He can set him up in the air as well. That's what I was talking about in terms of the difference between, you know, that and the Moxie flick that he likes to set up. Moxie kind of needs to get it going off the ground. It's all a ground to set up. Nugget is such a delayed pop, and he's so good at getting it even when he's high in the air. A solid performance from Nuggets. And he has maybe made Abdullah wish he didn't ask for the rematch. 3-0 sweep the second time around.